episode of Generation Next. Today, our guest today is Mbasally Manneh, civil engineer and a construction specialist. Mbasally is vastly experienced. He has been in this trade for quite a while now, even though she is not that old enough though, but he started her career rather for quite a while, and she is doing absolutely great out there. She is one of those ladies doing great in a male-dominated field. And Mbasally, welcome you to our platform today, Generation Next, episode 5.
Thank you.
Could you take the chance and greet with our audience out there?
Good evening to each and everyone. I am excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, Mbasally, you are a lady, and I is a lady that has been in this craft for a while, and you have gotten a rich CV throughout your career that you've run for some while, and you still have a lot to do about it. Could you tell us who is Mbasally?
Thank you once again. My name is Mbasally Manneh, born and brought up in Brikama, and I attended a presentation of Mary Basic Cycle.
Yeah.
From there, I proceeded to SOS Hamad Minor Senior Secondary School. Upon completing my WASI, I proceeded to the Gambia Technical Training Institute, now the University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, where I did diploma in Architectural Technology and proceeded to HND in Construction Management. And I had this opportunity through the Ministry of Higher Education to do my MPhil in Civil Engineering. And from there, I came back. In fact, while I was doing my diploma programs, I was already co-opted to teach at the construction department at the Institute of Technical Training, now under the University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology.
Sure. That shows a rich CV of you in this craft that you are in. And then we've already got a tip of what you've been doing, and the motivation and the inspiration you've been doing outside there. And then we've already got it that you've inspired a lot of people into this arena. Mbasally, we want to know, how would you summarize your career journey in a predominantly male-dominated industry?
My career journey has been driven by passion, and that passion is what I nurtured way back, as young as in my junior secondary school. So basically the career developed from seeing my dad as a role model. My dad is a welder man by profession. So there was something about him. We were so many at a time, but my dad could feed all of us. I can remember a day when we didn't cook. So I figured out at a very young age that he couldn't have done it if he was not independent in his economic gains. So from time to time, I joined my dad at the workshop, and I quickly figured out that it's only through technical drawing, in my own view, that will enable me to be able to earn something extra, even while if I get a paid job, by the way. So this is where my passion for architecture grew. So I fell in love with technical drawing at the junior school, and I make sure that I got to a school that was technical. This was why I had to go to SOS, because SOS was offering technical technical subjects. So I remembered I selected NUSRAT to do my high school, and this was influenced by my colleagues. So when I got to NUSRAT, I actually had admission to go and do my high school. I didn't go simply because I had that passion. I wanted to do something technical. So I quickly told my uncle then that I don't think I'm coming back to NUSRAT. Rather, I want to pursue what they are doing. I love auto mechanics, applied electricity, metalwork, woodwork. So I abandoned NUSRAT to go to SOS so that I'll be able to do technical areas.
So even though at that young age, when you were in a junior school, you could realize that that industry that you are in today could pay your bills someday.
Oh yes, in fact, not only that, but independence.
can
I
make you
wanted
independent.
but independence, economically independent, to be precise.
Yeah. Mbadi mo ala baraka bake altol mimban numa be on Generation Next. This is Mbasally Manneh Baldeh. Mbasally Manneh Baldeh is an engineer and a construction specialist. Mi alon ko ala doku lukata bake and then atarta nyin doku kono for quite a while. I mean studies jamale ke mi alon ko aya mako e bake fo bitulo la keta muti mi alon ko she is lecturing at the GTTI. Mi alon ko jelen dulati mi alon ko meci karan dulalem and then it is a TVET school. Mbasally, coming here for Nyami, like you got the inspiration since you were going to school back in the days in your junior school. I mean, this is not, it is predominantly a male-dominated field. How were you able to convince the people that matter, maybe your dad and mom and whosoever that mattered at that moment, this is what I want to do, even though I know it is male-dominated? How were you able to convince them?
For me, it was not hard and difficult. Like I said, my dad was a welder man.
Yeah.
So he had a vast knowledge about technical areas.
Yeah.
So when I came, in fact, rather he was very, very proud. I later realized that because at some point in my conversation with him, he gave me the assurance that he is willing to pay any school of my choice.
That was your dad?
That was my dad. So it wasn't hard to convince him. And when I got that to that high school, I was the only female at the time in my class. I was doing auto mechanics, that was doing applied electricity, technical, the woodwork, metalwork. I was exposed to all of these subjects and I loved it and I enjoyed it. The fact that I was the only female even made me even more special. So I did not have that challenge as because I have men around me. No. In fact, I am very much comfortable with them around.
So feeling
so
that
it wasn't hard for me to convince people around me because I was so determined to do what I want.
So
and I got the support from my dad. So it was an easy going for me.
Sure. So feeling that you were the only female in such a big class was a motivation to you.
Exactly.
That was a motivation.
And I wasn't ready to give it up. And I thank God I didn't give it up.
Yeah. that is special. But how about mom? You barely talked about about her rather.
Well,
how was she about this whole thing?
Well, mom, instead, you know, women and the housework choices. So, you know, daddy with the girl. So I'll come and find a way of I need extra classes that I have to go. So that is always in supporting. But mom is like, you still should be able to do your housework choices. So there are times that I was crying, doing housework choices. But again, what I loved most was going to school, doing my technical areas. This was what I felt much in love with. So mom was also supportive, but she will make sure that you do the house choices because that's her interest.
So TVET, we all know how TVET is playing in our developmental role today in this country. In your role as, how has your journey from earning an HND to obtaining an MPhil in civil engineering through TVET pathway influence your career development and skills?
It was unprecedented. Like I told you, when I got my HND, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology then had a project that we call ACE project, ACE 1. Yeah. So it has the mandate to build the Gambian capacities of more than 140 Gambians at various levels, from postgraduate, masters and PhD. So that was where I got the opportunity to go and further do my studies, MPhil in civil engineering. And then I would like to share my story with that.
You're free to do so.
So, in fact, when I got that scholarship, then I was expecting. And it was my second child. When I got the scholarship, it was at a time that I was expecting about 2-3 months. So I wasn't sure because it was offered at Cameroon. Cameroon is all the way after Nigeria or so. Yeah. So I wasn't sure whether I should continue on the scholarship. Yeah. So I had to make inquiry. You know, I had confidence in just few people that I asked, is it advisable that I am expecting and I have to go and be away for 3 years? And it is civil engineering, is a country that I don't know. a country that I have no family, and it's a whole 3-year program.
And that was supposed to be the first time you go out of these borders.
That's true. So I was devastated. At the point, I remembered I sat my husband down and told him, I don't think I want to go ahead. And you know, he's my support system.
Yeah.
So he encouraged me, and he actually deceived me. Because he said, don't you worry, just go. I'll come there before you give birth, and after you give birth, I'll also come and help you.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a bit relief. I was a bit relief. And then the other advice that I